Courier, I was recently taken to the NCR embassy and forced to take mugshot photos. They released these mugshot photos in an effort to demean my presidential campaign, but it backfired horribly, and now I am more popular than ever before. I want you to travel to the NCR embassy and beat the fuck out of Ambassador Crocker for me. You will be rewarded handsomely for your work and given a presidential suite here in Trump Tower.
Hey, what the hell?
I am glad to see that you also joined the Space Force. It's very good to see justice being administered to this corrupt politician. We should snap some photos of him on the floor unconscious and put them on Twitter. Good job, Courier. Now get out of there before they figure out what happened.
Hello.
Hello. My consciousness was uploaded to a database and programmed into a Securitron. I'm gonna stay here and do some shut-eye. Hooray, it is Bidening time. Like how to drone strike? My Biden blast is far more effective than most combat styles. But my Biden blast is undefeatable. Biden blast initialized. Alright, I'll use 10% of my power. Biden blast initialized. I'm gonna stay here and do some shut-eye.
Things of a disturbing nature are happening at Boulder City.
Hey, you here to pay your respects too?
He is starting to resemble the leader of the People's Republic more and more every day.
It commemorates the Battle of Hoover Dam. The Rangers lured the best of Caesar's Legion into Boulder City and blew the whole town up.
The NCR still lost a bunch of troops in the fighting, though.
My older brother sacrificed himself so I could evacuate some of the wounded.
Bye.
What the fuck are you doing?
My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. They're desecrating a war memorial. Oh, now it's on.
Haha!
Remember, kids don't take drugs. What a terrifying society. Courier, I have heard unconfirmed reports of Preston Garvey being nearby. If this is true, put him out of my misery.
On the balcony! The balcony! I'm up here! On the balcony! Hey! Hey! Hey!
Of course, he is part of the People's Republic. This is the evidence we needed.
On the balcony!
Look at him run for his life. He knows his time has come.
On the balcony! Up here! Up here! On the balcony! Hey, up here! Hey! Hey, up here! As usual, I got word of a settlement that needs our help. At least it's not raining. I'll mark it on your map.
I knew you would get the job done, Courier. Loot the remains and show off some of the Republicmen's swag. They will want to see you on Reddit if you look like that, Courier. Let's go to the location he marked on our map and crush the rest of the Republic's space. This is definitely interesting. Looks like the People's Republic have developed underwater towns. Kill them all, courier. Save them by killing them, yes.
I got word of a settlement that needs our help. Nice. I'll mark it on your map. Don't wait for me.
Courier, I have heard that there are things of a disturbing nature going on at the Sunset Sarsaparilla headquarters. I want you to go investigate.
Howdy, partner. Welcome to the headquarters of the Sunset Sarsaparilla Company. Wrangle up a stool and listen to old Festus jaw a while.
Robco engineering degrees enable you to hack any robot, courier. See what you can do with this one.
Commencing attack on hostile.
Courier, what the fuck have you built? This is a terrifying abomination. I don't know what to make of this. We will probably have to put it down.
Hey, you down there! Grab a weapon and get your ass up here! They're coming!
Looks like we can test our new Festus spot out.
You got a death wish, buddy? They'll be here any second! The hell kind of question's that? Where do you think you are right now? Aw, too late. Here they come!
Courier, I have called you here today to inform you that Good Springs has been occupied by the People's Republic. Furthermore, there have been sightings of the elusive leader of the People's Republic. You need to retake the town and investigate these claims. I will be sending the Securitrons to the left and right of me to assist you.
We've been upgraded to serve you better. Have a nice day.
Kill them all, courier. Reminds me of Independence Day. Keep that shit coming, courier. Liberate the town. The townsfolk are joining in the battle to help us. I am detecting 2,000 Salisbury stakes at the top of that hill. The anticipation is killing me. Keep your guard up, courier. If it truly is him, he will be very powerful. What is up with the champions of the People's Republic being surrounded by food all the time?
I think you should leave me and my family alone, Oxhorn. It would be for the best.
help you. How ironic that he has a fat man and size large clothing, very amusing. But this is sadly not the real leader of the People's Republic. This is just a body double. You can tell because there is no scotch or cigars on him. The war goes on, Courier. We won this battle and saved the town of Good Springs, thankfully. Courier, go shit all over the Republic Memorial. It will be funny. I loaded your packed lunch with pork and beans, so you will have no issue.
What the fuck are you doing? My brother died at the Battle of Hoover Dam. You're desecrating a war memorial. Oh, now it's on! Ha-ha!
Courier, I hear that some kind of famous fighter has moved into the area. I want you and the boys to break his legs. It will be funny. Looks like he is standing over a previous opponent. Beat the fuck out of him with Pete, Nobark, Frank Horrigan, and Goris.
Bastard. Bastard.
Had enough?
Bastard. 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 Bastard.
A perfectly fair and balanced fight, and with no witnesses to disagree with me. Looks like Pete is a long-lost descendant of Michael Jackson.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you? Was a prospector until I decided to settle here to get away from the NCR. Now, we'll just take it easy and help out with the Brahmin and Bighorners.
This meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well. I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see? That's rather obvious, isn't it? Don't let the video screens and computer terminals fool you. I'm flesh and blood, not silicone. I wouldn't want to spoil the surprise.
Goodbye.
Hello there, sweetie. What's troubling you? I'm Marilyn. It's a pleasure. Jane and I are Mr. House's girls. We handle his more emotional needs. That I may be. You're right, insofar that I serve a particular purpose. Unlike those other metal ne'er-do-wells, I have a more intimate function. But don't underestimate me, sweetie. I take great pleasure in my combat efficiency. Oh, did I say that out loud? Goodness me. Sure. Oh, I wouldn't say something as formal as girlfriends. We take care of him, he takes care of us. Oh, how do I put this without sounding silly? It's a mutually beneficial, symbiotic relationship. Oh, a new sister! How exciting! So, you have the butterflies for Robert, huh? That's so cute. It's incredibly simple. I still remember the first day he scanned me. Oh, right. He'd need to scan you first. Create a digital copy of your neural computational matrix. But You're organic. I remember, back when I was still an organic, he'd have me get into this pod. Not very romantic, is it? You misunderstand me, sweetie. When you enter the pod, it hooks up to your ventromedial prefrontal cortex. It's sort of like a pleasure center. Pardon me for saying so. It may be digital, but it sure isn't lacking. Mr. House keeps it concealed. Wouldn't want any prying eyes on it if you were him, would you? The room is only accessible by the man himself, but I'm sure he'd give you access once you get to know him a little better. If I were you, I'd be real careful about when you ask him. He's very narrow-sighted right now. He can't think of anything else until that chip he makes such a fuss about is taken care of. After you come back, I'm sure he'd be more than happy to know how you feel. Oh, and take this. He's bound to say yes if you wear this.
Hey, baby doll. Welcome to the Tops Hotel and Casino. I'm gonna have to ask you to hand over any weapons you might be carrying. Them's the breaks. You want in, you don't bring the guns. Lady, you just made the biggest mistake of your life.
Over here!
Ugh.
So, Benny has been handled, and you've recovered the platinum chip. Let's have it. Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious, so very dear. A great deal shall be happening, a cascade of events with you taking a central role. At the moment, however, all you need to do is take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level. You'll understand soon enough. Trips to the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think?
Do not be alarmed. We have been upgraded to serve you better. Have a nice day.
The foundation is laid. My Securitrons on the strip are upgraded, and those at the fort ready for action. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the... What did you want to discuss? Oh, don't be coy. You thought I wouldn't notice? You have a way of exceeding expectations, don't you? What do you make of what you've seen? You needn't be afraid of me. Don't worry, you'll like what you see. So where does that put us? And how do you know this? I see. You have an interest in this. In that case, I commend you for your initiative. Excellent idea. Let's get on with it, shall we? Come now, don't keep me waiting.
Enjoy your time on the Vegas Strip.
The next step is... You see that you and I are of a different stripe, don't you? We are. You still wound up here, right where I wanted you. What? Oh, by all means, yes.
Be advised, the Lucky 38 is not open to the general public. Trespassers will be shot.
Hello. You here to pay your respects too?
Are you here to stop the voices in my head? You know the definition of insanity? It's staring at this memorial day in, day out. Mr. House can send you to kill me every day, but he will fail. Ha-ha! Damn!
We need to discover the source of the private Kowalski clone army. This weak society rebuilds this guy every time we kill him, and it is getting tiresome. What army would pay to maintain a useless eater that stands in place all day doing nothing? What a weak, degenerate scum-iety.
Yeah! Who won the lottery? I did! Smell that air! Couldn't you just drink it like booze? Are you kidding me? Never felt better. Yeah! What lottery? The lottery, that's what lottery. Are you stupid? Only lottery that matters. Oh my God, smell that air! Powder ganger? What? I mean, yeah, used to be, sure. But not no more. Powder gang is small time, man. I'm a winner! I won the motherfucking lottery! Hey, wait a second. I won 100,000 caps at the Nipton lottery, and I heard that the NCR taxmen want to take 45% of it. Who do they think they are anyway? They haven't even fixed the roads in the Mojave. So what will my tax money get used for? Are they seriously going to spend my lottery winnings on cloning Private Kowalski to stand outside a slab of stone which is getting destroyed basically every other day? Something is compelling me to shout that the NCR are a weak society, and I don't even know what that means.
Howdy. What can Easy Pete do for you? Calm down. If you need her that much, just take it and get out of my damn sight.
Now run like fuck, courier. You just robbed Difficult Pete. What the hell were you thinking? Are you drunk and on drugs? You are lucky he didn't stand up and crush you like an ant.
Well, hello. I am the Karmanaut. I have traveled in many places you've never heard of, and am learned in lots of mysterious and extremely interesting arts. For a price, I can also use my karmarific mind powers to affect your personal karma. Let's say, 2,000 caps a pop? It's worth it, I promise. Bad karma, coming right up. Good karma, coming right up. Ooh-ah, 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 ooh-ah. Namaste.
Watch out!
Watch out!
What the hell is wrong with you?
No! What have you done?
Enjoy all the Vegas Strip has to offer.
Then this meeting has been a long time coming, hasn't it? You've come a long ways, literally, and I suspect figuratively as well. I have to ask, now that you've reached your destination, what do you make of what you see? Oh, by all means, yes. That's refreshing. The business is this. One of my employees has stolen an item of extraordinary value from me, and I want it recovered. Simple enough. What did you wish to know? My only concern is the recovery of the platinum chip. What happens to Benny, I leave to your discretion. When you bring the chip to me, I will pay you 4 times the delivery bonus stipulated in your contract. How's that? Very well. 5 times the bonus, not 1 cap more. Well enough. Return to me when you have the platinum chip in your possession. Any final matters for us to discuss? What else did you want to know? It won't be easy. Benny is always surrounded by at least 4 bodyguards, except when he's in his private suite on the 13th floor of the Tops. It's more complicated than that. The chairmen share what you might call a tribal affinity. Look for a man named Swank, Benny's second in command. He's always been a reliable, if unimaginative, employee. Do your best to convince him that you're working under my auspices. If you have evidence of Benny's crimes, show it to him. By contract, Securitrons are to enter the casinos only when invited by the 3 families, or if other extraordinary circumstances arise. The moment I send one into the Tops, Benny will know I'm onto him. If you were to approach Benny in public, you might be able to leverage his fear of exposure to make him agree to meet with you in private. Sneaking into Benny's suite on the 13th floor would be very difficult, but not impossible. There might be guards. Certainly there'd be a sturdy lock on his front door. What else did you want to know? Benny has led the chairman ever since I recruited his tribe 7 years ago. Until his recent misbehavior, I planned to make him my protege. Maybe if I'd begun grooming him sooner, none of this would have happened. To achieve my aims, I require a capable human agent to perform certain tasks. I knew Benny was ambitious, even ruthless, but I believed he would do the job so long as he was incentivized appropriately. Obviously, I miscalculated his drive for supremacy, but in any case, you've come along, a more than suitable replacement. I have to think that he found out about the platinum chip and mistakenly convinced himself that he could use it to his own ends. One of the problems of a tribal workforce, I'm afraid. No intuitive understanding of how complex technologies can be. Why didn't Victor intervene sooner, you mean? Goodsprings is a bit too far away for me to reliably control a Securitron agent by remote. I can send and receive packets of data at best. Victor's combat algorithms determined the proper course of action. Benny and his thugs were more than a match for a lone Securitron. When he alerted me, I instructed him to approach the site after Benny and the others had departed. What else did you want to know? It's a very special item. There's nothing else like it in the entire world. It was lost a long time and difficult to find. That's all you need to know about it for this stage of our enterprise. Fulfill your contract, deliver the chip, and good things will come your way. You might keep an eye out for any computers that Benny's been using, maybe even a computer lab of some sort. That's simply not true. I'm the only person to hold any rights pertaining to the chip. I designed it, and I paid for it dearly. To develop that chip, I spent a sum of US dollars, not the bottle caps that pass as currency these days, but a sum beyond counting. For decades, I paid salvagers to comb the ruins for it, and when it was finally discovered, tens of thousands of caps spent to have it brought here. We know how that turned out. Complete your contract, and it will be the last time I pay for the chip. Save your questions for then. You realize you were just one of many couriers, the rest of them dummies, so to speak. Add to that many thousands of caps worth of mercenary protection to screen your avenue of approach. Had I used an armed caravan to transport the chip, I might as well have been announcing to the world, "This is important. Attack this." I didn't want to attract the attention of groups like the Great Khans or the Brotherhood of Steel. Alas, the real threat was closer to home. Frontal assaults on casinos, not good for business. In any case, Benny would see it coming, and all he'd have to do is hold the chip up and point a pistol at it. Our foremost advantage is that Benny doesn't know that I know he has the chip. let's not squander it. What else did you want to know? I am Elon Reevehouse, President, CEO, and sole proprietor of the New Vegas Strip. I oversaw the city's renovation starting from 2274 onward. The three families are my employees. Before the Great War of 2077, I was the founder, president, and CEO of Robco Industries, a vast computer and robotics corporation. Don't let the video screens and computer terminals fool you. I'm flesh and blood, not silicone. I see you've made a study of the topic. My knowledge of the science of longevity would fill several textbooks. Perhaps after a decade or two of economic reconstruction, I can commercialize these technologies and offer them to others, such as yourself. Let's just say it was very costly. But I was willing to make the sacrifices longevity entailed, financial and otherwise. We can discuss this in greater detail at another time. Suffice it to say that when my Securitrons detected NCR scouts at Hoover Dam, I took action. I recruited a tribal force to supplement my Securitrons and renovated the Strip just in time to welcome the NCR as it marched into the region. Instead of war, a treaty was negotiated, and the money started to pour in. It's understandable that you'd be curious about this topic, but we'll hold off until the platinum chip has been recovered. What else did you want to know? Well enough, be on your way. I take it you've come to deliver the platinum chip? I'll be happy to satisfy your every curiosity once the platinum chip has been delivered. Such a small thing, isn't it? And yet so capacious, so very dear. Decades of hiring salvagers out west to search for this little relic in the ruins of a place called Sunnyvale. Back then, anyway. That's where the chip was printed on October 22nd, 2077. It was to have been hand-delivered to me here at the Lucky 38 the next day. But the bombs fell first. Suffice it to say, the delivery was never made. A great deal shall be happening, a cascade of events with you taking a central role. At the moment, however, all you need to do is take the elevator all the way down to the bottom level. You'll understand soon enough. Step closer to the demonstration area, if you would. I expect you're well familiar with my Securitrons by now. The titanium alloy housing that protects its electronic core deflects small arms and shrapnel easily enough. Its X-25 Gatling laser, produced to spec by Glastinghouse Inc., is deadly against soft targets at medium range. And for close-range suppression or crowd control, the Securitron is armed with a 9mm submachine gun. All of this you probably already knew. What you did not know is that these are the Securitron's secondary weapons. All this time, my Securitrons have had to get by running the Mark I operating system, which lacked software drivers for their primary weapons. Today, with the delivery of the Platinum chip, all that changes. Behold, for the first time, Securitrons running the Mark II OS. The M235 missile launcher gives the Securitron the ability to engage ground and air targets at significantly longer ranges. And a rapid-fire G28 grenade launcher ensures the Securitron is deadly in close-range engagements. The software upgrade also includes drivers for the Securitron's highly sophisticated onboard auto repair systems. Altogether, the Mark II software upgrade confers a 235% increase in combat effectiveness per unit. The city of New Vegas finally has soldiers worthy of protecting it. Return to the penthouse now. We have much to discuss. Trips to the basement are rarely so educational, don't you think? I've since broadcast the upgrade to every Securitron in range of my transmitters, and I must say, it's causing quite a stir down on the Strip. I'm surprised you can still underestimate me after everything you've seen. I haven't shown my hand. I've shown one card. I've given my enemies a single provocative datum upon which to fixate. They have no idea what other cards I'm holding. It's a strong hand, believe me. I dealt it to myself. Why would I want to go to war against the NCR? They're my best customers. If their leaders weren't scheming to steal Vegas out from under me, I'd have no troubles with the NCR at all. To secure the future of New Vegas, I must have your assistance. The work ahead is dangerous, but you weather danger well. What did you want to discuss? General Oliver's strategy, or tunnel vision as I like to call it, has been to mass troops at Hoover Dam. He wants to outfight the Legion in a straightforward slugging match, and then, when they rout, pursue and destroy them in detail. A crushing, decisive victory of this sort would overshadow the tactical ingenuity of Chief Hanlon's defense 4 years ago, you see. A good deal should be obvious to you by now. I won't spoil the rest by talking out of turn. What else did you want to discuss? I've resurrected Vegas, spirit intact. What I need now is the ability to enforce my rightful claim. Not just against Caesar's Legion, by the way. In fact, the NCR is a more present and insidious threat. To enforce, one must have force, a position of strength. Years ago, when I detected NCR scouts roaming the Mojave, I could tell from their uniforms that these were no mere tribesmen. I knew it was only a matter of time before an army appeared to take control of the dam, and I knew my Securitrons wouldn't be enough to oppose them. And so I recruited the 3 families. Vegas belongs to me because I mustered enough strength to bring the NCR to the bargaining table. Indeed it was and still is, but not without taking significant casualties. Would Kimball and Oliver have traded the lives of hundreds of soldiers for absolute control of Hoover Dam? Oh yes. They weren't afraid of me, they were afraid of Caesar, that attacking me would leave them vulnerable to a Legion offensive. And so they negotiated, not out of the kindness of their hearts as they tried to make it seem, because the calculus of power left no other choice. NCR forces were permitted to occupy Hoover Dam and establish a military base at McCarran Airport. Well, it used to be one. They recognized my sovereignty over the Vegas Strip and agreed to supply electricity and water once their engineers repaired the dam. Written into the treaty were provisions that the NCR do nothing to prevent its soldiers and civilians from visiting the Strip. That's how I harnessed the NCR to my endeavor. Their occupation has been the engine of my growing economy. The salient issue is that they will go to war with me if given the chance. There's just one reason why the NCR hasn't contrived some outrage to justify invading the Strip. Caesar's Legion? The final battle between those 2 armies is fast approaching. I can't afford to let either side win on their terms. What else did you want to discuss? Hoover Dam, of course, a hydroelectric dam. The NCR had it up and running at 50% capacity within a year of occupying the dam. By treaty, New Vegas receives 5% of its output, more than enough. What else did you want to discuss? It was a place of splendor. As magnificent as today's Strip may seem, it's but a shadow of the neon paradise that was Las Vegas. I grew up not far from here, and though I traveled the old world extensively, I never found another place like it. By 2065, I deemed it a mathematical certainty that an atomic war would devastate the Earth within 15 years. Every projection I ran confirmed it. I knew I couldn't save the world, nor did I care to, but I could save Vegas, and in the process, perhaps save mankind. I set to work immediately. I thought I had plenty of time to prepare. As it turned out, I was 20 hours short. On the day of the Great War, 77 atomic warheads targeted Las Vegas and its surrounding areas. My networked mainframes were able to predict and force transmit disarm code subsets to 59 warheads, neutralizing them before impact. Laser cannons mounted on the roof of the Lucky 38 destroyed another 9 warheads. The rest got through, though none hit the city itself. A suboptimal performance, admittedly, if only the Platinum chip had arrived a day sooner. The Platinum chip was printed in Sunnyvale, California on October 22nd, 2077, the day before the Great War. It was to have been delivered by courier the following afternoon, but by then the world had ended. The chip contained vital software upgrades, but not just for my Securitrons. Every aspect of the missile defense grid would have been upgraded too. Given that I had to make do with buggy software, the outcome could have been worse. I nearly died as it was. Software glitches set off a cascade of system crashes. I had to take the Lucky 38's reactor offline lest it melt down. For nearly 5 years, I battled power outages and more system crashes until I finally managed to reboot my data core with an older version of the OS. I spent the next few decades in a veritable coma, but I survived, obviously, and eventually thrived. What else did you want to discuss? The next step will require you to infiltrate Caesar's camp at Fortification Hill. I want you to open a hatch in the basement of the derelict weather station atop Fortification Hill. You'll recognize it on sight. The hatch bears the logo of the Lucky 38, same as the Platinum chip. Here, take the Platinum chip again. You will need it. Upon arrival at the fort, it's likely that you'll be searched and the chip taken from you. Don't worry, it will come back to you.
Fool! Head! You'll pay. Retribution! 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 Had enough? Reprisal!
My name is Edward Sallow, but you may know me as Caesar. I reside at Fortification Hill, Mojave Wasteland. This is my confession. If you're hearing this, I'm likely dead murdered by my right-hand man, Legate Lanius. Lanius has been building a power base within the Legion for over a year now, using me as his strategist. Shortly after my rise to power, he asked that I use my knowledge of the old world to help him consolidate power, which he would then use to expand the Legion's territory using connections he made through his military conquests. I was astounded. I always thought Lanius was a very loyal man, and I was particularly vulnerable at the time, something he knew and took advantage of. I was reeling from a brain tumor diagnosis that was poised to destabilize my Legion. Lanius took me on a campaign and showed me just how much power even a small Legion could amass, and I was weak. I didn't want my Legion to fall into disarray, so I agreed. Lanius had a partner, a businessman named Robert House. Lanius sold my allegiance to this man, and when I tried to quit, House threatened my Legion. I didn't know where to turn. Eventually, Lanius and House had a falling out. Things escalated. House was able to arrange I guess you call it a hit, on Lanius and failed. But Lanius was seriously injured, and I wound up paying his medical bills, which amounted to a significant portion of the Legion's resources. Upon recovery, Lanius was bent on revenge. Working with a man named Benny, he plotted to kill House. The bomb that he used was built by me, and he gave me no option in it. I have often contemplated suicide, but I'm a coward. I wanted to go to the NCR, but I was frightened. Lanius had risen to become the head of the Legion's military. To keep me in line, he took my Praetorian Guard. For 3 months, he kept them. My followers had no idea of my internal struggles and were horrified to learn what I had done. I was in hell. I hated myself for what I had brought upon my Legion. Recently, I tried once again to quit, and in response, he gave me this. Caesar points to the scar on his face left by Lanius in a previous confrontation. I can't take this anymore. I live in fear every day that Lanius will kill me or worse, hurt my Legion. All I could think to do was to make this recording and hope that the Wasteland will finally see this man for what he really is.
Courier, there is a new political party forming in Good Springs. I need you to check it out for me. What in the name of God is going on here?
Oh wow, look at this! Another voter! You're right on time, he's about to start.
My fellow Morats, we've gathered here today because of one thing. Change. For far too long we have been used. For food, for target practice. For mostly those two things now that I think about it actually. I care about Morat lives. As future president of the entire wasteland, I will guarantee safety for all Morats. We're gonna build a wall, and we'll make the damn Morats pay for it. It's gonna be great. I know some great Morats. I know some real good Morats. I've got a lot of Morats on the job. I've got 3 words for you. Jobs, jobs, and jobs. We're gonna have more rats. We're gonna have more rats selling things, doing business, being into the normal society they're not now in. Lots of jobs, lots of jobs. What else is there? Well, that's all I can think of. I got candidate things to do. I've got rallies coming up. Make sure to vote. I'll make the Mojave great again. I'm a real great Molerat. Play the music. Terrence Rump, future president. Nice to meet you. Even one more attendee at a rally can make a huge difference. That's what I always say. Votes up for Molerats only, but I'm real big on humans. You know, I'm real great. I'm a Molerat, but I don't know. I'm saying, no matter how many limbs or heads, if you can convince other Molerats to put a ballot in a ballot box with my name on it, you're good with me. I'm gonna tell my guys to start working on making that a slogan for my next rally. Alright, so, what do you think of my speech?
We need to enter this rabbit hole, or maybe even Molerat hole, so be nice to him, Courier.
Thanks. I'm glad I can sway the hearts of humans. I don't know how your hearts work, but ours slow down on demand, so they're real easy to sway. I need all types if I want to make this work, you know? I come here, I campaign, it's all for Molerats, you know? Not a lot of people know the Molerat plight, what us Molerats have to endure every day out there in the wasteland. Molerats are actively oppressed. We got raiders shooting us, we got settlers eating us. Have you ever seen a crucified Molerat?
It was probably you that crucified the Molerats he is talking about.
That's when you know you've had enough. There's Molerats there, and I know some real great Molerats. They don't deserve that sort of treatment. I'm running as president of the Mojave, and when I'm elected, I'll make sure no Molerats left behind. I'm gonna have jobs, I'm gonna build a wall. Well, that's all I've got so far, but I really feel those two things will go a long way towards Molerat prosperity.
Remember the empathy training we gave you, Courier? You need to be nice to the disabled.
You seem like a really great guy, you know. At least I think you're a guy. You know, Molerats, we have poor vision. Great though, real great. I'm always looking for more staff to help with my campaign. I have several slots open, in fact.
Infiltrate this organization so we can subvert it when the need arises.
How about becoming my campaign manager?
I haven't puppeted political figures for over 200 years.
Great. You know I got an eye for you, you real go-getter types. Very poor eyesight, I mentioned that, but a real good eye for talent. Good, yes. You start your manager duties right away. I don't know where else to go. Find me a place to campaign, I've got no idea. Go, do it.
This guy seems slightly incompetent.
Well, for one, I didn't have a campaign manager. I just set up the stand here and I waited for 2 weeks? I don't remember, may have been more. You came, see, so it sorta worked out. But election day's getting close, I gotta ramp it up, get the political machine really going. Gotta roll over, just completely roll, way past the opposition, no contest, win the election, become president, make the Mojave great again.
Try to convince him to hold his speeches at Quarry Junction. That will be very funny.
Prim? Great, love the name. Never been there. It sounds like a great location. Sounds like a large constituency just waiting to cast their vote. You're gonna carry my podium and my flags, we're gonna go to Prim, we're gonna have a real great rally, real great. No time to talk, gotta hurry, gotta get there fast.
Just put that stuff inside the car, no sense carrying it there. Not really sure what to make of this guy, but bigger buffoons have won elections before, especially if some element of vote rigging was taking place. This was especially popular the year I was born.
Got business here?
My fellow Morats, we've gathered here today because of one thing. Change.
Hey! Where's my hat?
What's that there? What?
Well, I was over at Good Springs and I came here because I thought you were finally gonna give out hats. You know, like the one on your head.
No, I'm sorry, good voter. This is the only hat I have on me at the moment.
I walked all the way out here for nothing? Come on! What a waste of time!
Okay, I don't think there's much of a point of continuing my speech if it's going to be just you listening to it. I'm starting to see some areas where my campaigning could use some improvement. For one, no more backwater towns, only real urban centers. I'll leave the research on where those are to my campaign manager, that's you. For two, my people need merchandise. I'm not going to win the election if the voters don't get anything to remember me by after they've left my rally. I know some real great Morats they can help with that. I've got some ideas, but it's gonna happen, can't wait. Look, I've gotta go, gotta start working on campaign stuff to make the campaign look good. Right now, I feel it's very urgent. You should come visit me, I'll have a job for you. As newly assigned campaign manager, I know you won't slack or quit. That's why I chose you. Here's where you'll find me. Remember, we gotta make the Mojave great again.
Visiting a sewer to help a presidential election, these truly are progressive times.
We're ready to start. I have hats, many hats. That guy got me thinking at the rally. People want hats, so we should give them hats. So, I have hats. You know, I was gonna do a rally in Novak, but we got no time now. Making these hats took longer than anticipated. I need to do my last big rally. I sent some friends to put up some posters over there instead. Let's just go check on them real quick. Then it's time for the final event.
The free economic zone of New Vegas is still going strong thanks to the combined efforts of Chad Nobark and Robco Industries.
Oh, bananas! I can't believe this. It's these demo rats again. They've planted demolition charges in my supporters' heads. It's the third time this happens. They're playing dirty. They're trying to throw me off the election. Do they think they can stop me? Oh no! Watch out! Behind you!
Good morning, Sunshine. Up and at 'em.
I knew you shouldn't have picked the Wild Wasteland Perk Courier.
Pipe down, Cupcake. We got some things to talk about first. Welcome to beautiful Blasmolia, our home. Sorry that we had to knock your lights out to bring you here, but we couldn't afford to take any risks. My name is Metchow. Maybe I will let you have something to soothe that bump in your head later, if you behave.
Please ask about the Helmet Courier. I need to know where it came from.
You really think so? For shame, I say. I wear this helmet as a trophy. I defeated its wearer many moons ago in unequal yet fierce combat. I like it. Why? Do you think it makes me look fat? Rump is safe in the crate behind me. For now. What happens to him all depends on you.
Figure out where you are, courier. I will send Securitrons to rescue you.
We're not far from civilization, but we are deep underground, so any friends of yours won't be able to hear you scream.
What does it mean by take any risks?
Ah, there lies the heart of the matter. We have been observing you. We know what you can do, and most importantly, what your friend RUMP can do.
So what do they want with you?
We need to stop RUMP's madness together. I mean, surely you've noticed he brings nothing new or useful to the table. If he wins, wild mole rats will become stronger and more dangerous. We've been trying to stop him. One of my snipers has been picking off the team he sends out to place posters and advertisements as well as... Well, do you see the dead mole rats behind me? Those are his previous campaign managers. Did you not find it odd that he would run around without one? So here's the deal. You need to stop supporting RUMP immediately. If you agree, you may go. If you disagree, then we will fight, and you will die.
This is the most ridiculous fiasco you have managed to get yourself into, courier, and that is saying something.
Oh, I assume this means RUMP never told you about the Demorat, did he? That is us! He calls us that because we hoard explosives. We are still trying to figure out how to use them, but when we do, the Mojave will tremble. RUMP banished us from the surface under penalty of death. But now that he is busy with his campaign, we are able to enjoy a modicum of freedom. All we want is to be left alone. If you side with us, you will leave safely and take a small sample of our stock of explosives and ammunition. If you do not, your path will end here by our hand.
What happens to RUMP if you stop working for him?
We shall put an end to his insanity here, and shall dine on some fine mole rat stew tonight.
Maybe diplomacy is an option here.
No dice, friend. This was a brilliant intelligence coup that was long in the making. Months of research and planning. He will not escape today. The time of diplomacy and talk has come and gone. He must reap the consequences of what he has sown. Okay, make your choice right now. No more delays. Sounds like someone has a death wish. Semite, open the cage and let our friend out. The day of reckoning is upon us.
That took a lot longer than I was expecting.
You know, I could hear it all from the crate. You're a real great guy, you know. You have the stamina, you have the willpower. Real great.
What on earth is happening here?
Yeah, they try to take the hats and my backpack, but I wouldn't allow them. Not only that, they try to take away the dream of a greater Mojave. An attempted character assassination. Also an attempted real assassination. Yeah, okay, I did do that, but the point is, he was trying to paint me as the bad guy. I mean, look around you. Look at all these bombs and weapons. They're a terrorist threat. They would have killed us all if we had let them. Sometimes, in politics, you've gotta make hard choices.
This guy clearly knows nothing about you if he hates terrorists so much.
Indeed it is. Now, Let's get out of here already. We defeated terrorism. Now, let's tackle an even more important issue. My last rally. Finally, back to the surface. These filthy demo rats delayed me so much, I'll barely have time to do my final rally before the elections start. I've been thinking, and I think the best place for the last event will be North Vegas Square. It's close by, and we really have no time to waste. This is the plan. We go there, you set up the rally and give out the hats I have in my bag. And after that, we come back here for the vote count. Any questions?
This is ridiculous.
No, duh. I was in a crate, remember? I couldn't hear anything. I didn't know what was going on.
How many people will be attending the event?
I'm not sure. It depends on how many folks manage to see the posters I put around. And there's always word of mouth. We'll see.
Let's get on with this, then.
Yeah, now we're talking. Let's get going. Alright, we're ready to start. And this is the most people I've ever had attend a rally. This is gonna be great. Now, quickly, give them these hats. When you're done, I'll get on with my speech. I prepared a special one for the occasion.
Thanks. Woohoo! Yay!
Perfect. Okay, I'm ready. You have a seat on the chair over there and observe the master in action. My fellow Morats, we've gathered here today because of one thing. Hey, what are you doing? The speech just wrapped up. Don't tell me you snoozed through it. We're still in North Vegas Square, dummy. Stop snoozing and get a move on already. Let's go back to Glaburnia. Everyone must have dropped their ballots by now, so we just gotta swoop in and win. Let's go.
I wonder if we will have to rig this election too.
I gotta hurry. Here we are, Glaburnia's round office. As a clearly unbiased party, you will count the votes on the ballot box over there. Should be easy. My votes are red poker chips and Mr. Heyman's are blue. Just peek into the box and let me know what the votes are. My opponent in the presidential race, frankly speaking, I don't think he has great chances. Certainly doesn't have a great campaign manager.
He seems confident.
Shh, don't jinx it. You're gonna bring me bad luck.
Proceed to count the votes, Courier.
The time has come, everybody. Well, how many?
There was a single red chip in the box, so I guess RUMP wins.
Oh yes, I knew it! We will make Glaburnia great again! And the Mojave too, eventually, of course, sure. But Glaburnia comes first. You've been a great assistant. Be sure to visit us again sometime. You'll be surprised at what I'll turn this dumpster into.
Courier, I downloaded the Enclave Vault's databases and discovered information about another vault located south from Good Springs. You need to check it out, but be prepared. Who knows what weird shit vault tech was doing here. Ah yes. Let the man-made horrors beyond our comprehension begin. I wonder what could be going on here. You look very sus, Courier. Check out the computer, find out what might be going on here. Looks like a malfunction occurred which disabled the vault oxygen recyclers. The terminal says that something called the Polaris crew is deceased along with the inhabitants of Vault 28. What a shame, what a rotten way to die. This is a scary sight. A weirdo in a strange radiation suit dead behind a door that wouldn't open for him. That door has locked behind you and there is no oxygen in the vault. I marked the maintenance terminal on your HUD. Quickly repair the oxygen recyclers so you don't die like that brightly colored buffoon you saw earlier. Looks like this guy was running from something when he died. What a shame. Someone put cyanide in the oxygen tanks. This isn't too far out of the realms of normality for Vault Tech. Good job, Courier. Breathable air has been restored to the vault. You will need to investigate what went down here in order to escape. Don't worry about being too thorough. We certainly won't be selling this place on MTV Cribs. Some kind of yellow bastard is in here. Was this guy trying to dress up like a minion or something? At least they appear to have a well-stocked kitchen. Looks like this brown guy was eating a meal while someone murdered him. What a fucking... Sorry, Courier. I think Difficult Pete has been injecting my nutrient fluids with psycho again. I will try not to have any more outbursts of a psychotic nature. You managed to find a bladed weapon in the garbage can. You should stab, 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 stab. Stab, 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 stab. Now this is how we do it London style. Looks like this guy died in comfort. That is good at least. It would be a shame if you stab, 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 stab at him. Perfectly normal behavior, I am sure. There are some books over here, Courier. They are neatly piled. Wouldn't it be a shame if someone knocked them over? A human skull. I wondered why this is hanging out with the piles of books. Now that was satisfying to watch. You should have done that in the Enclave vault yesterday. Another horrific sight in the hallway. We need to get you out of here at once. Looks like Black died from a stab wound and Red and Pink both died from cyanide somehow. Check out the top floor. Hopefully we will find a way out. This blue guy got stabbed as well. What a shame. The killer in this place wasn't very original. There are such things as guns he could have used. Looks like there is a key on the central desk, Courier. Now this looks like my kind of room, Courier. Spare parts everywhere and a fucking meth lab. Let's cook some meth and bring it back to the Lucky 38. Seiko works just as well. Looks like you found out what that key opens. Splendid. A literal gas chamber. Looks like they purposefully used cyanide against this guy. What a rotten way to die. Now is the time to figure out who the sus imposter Sussy Baka is. Well, looks like you guessed correctly. But whatever this thing is wants to kill you. Looks like you can escape now, Courier. Good job. Stab, 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 stab. Ha!
You like that? Got you now.
We should have given you a better welcome on your first visit to Zion. But from what I hear, the Whitelegs beat us to it. I pray for the safety of all good people who come to Zion, even Gentiles. But we can't expect God to do all the work. The bad news is that we can't help you right now, not with everything that's going on. You're a good neighbor to us. We all go through periods of darkness. In such times we can turn to the Lord, but it's good to have friends. Welcome back. What can I do for you? It's hard to believe. Naturally. Of course, you are kind to offer. In a world filled with misery and uncertainty, it is a great comfort. Right now, I'd like you to focus on helping Daniel. Maybe there will be time later. Welcome back. What can I do for you? It's not something I enjoy, but I pray to God that someone may learn from my mistakes. What would you like to know? You are kind to offer, but no, there's nothing you can do. We don't use chems, but I learned long ago that I'm immune to their effects. It never stops burning. My skin. Every day I have to unwind the bandages and replace them with fresh ones. Exposing my body to the air is like living through it again. But it's better to be clean than comfortable. Welcome back. What can I do for you? I thank you for your heart. Welcome back. What can I do for you? What? Not with everything that's going on. There are many reasons why that would be a bad idea. I don't know for certain. There is much to be skeptical of in this world. But to live like me, think like me, no. You may not be concerned over matters of faith, but this is a case where faith and practicality coincide. In any case, it's important enough to try. There. That's it. I'm sure it will be fine. Some days are beyond hope, beyond redemption, a spiritual prison. It's the only way I know. But this is the waking world in which we live. Thank you for this. Let's not waste any time. After a long and troubled life, thanks to your help and the grace of God, it's finished. Happy are those who do the work of the Lord, because I can't do it alone.
What Joshua wants is more than an attack. He wants a slaughter. And he needs more than you and the dead horses to do it. The Sorrows can't be pushed into this. You and Joshua don't have the right to force them into it. Please, consider what I'm saying. I've already explained to them that we're leaving. They've accepted it. What is Joshua going to tell them about being a warrior? What are you going to tell them about how to live with themselves after they got lost in the moment, killed someone who didn't deserve to die? Or does that not matter? Is that just an acceptable consequence if it means holding on to this valley? Maybe there is no place left in this world for mercy. But even if it tramples me into the dust, I will never accept it. And I will never condone it. Joshua must be waiting for you. I'll stay here with the others as I told them I would.
Thank you for this. I know Daniel doesn't approve, but destroying the Whitelegs is the only way to ensure the Sorrows can remain in Zion. You and I will lead a group of Dead Horse warriors and Sorrows hunters into 3 Marys from this position. Our objective is to find the Whitelegs leader, salt upon wounds, and prevent him from fleeing. Show no quarter to the Whitelegs we come across. Make no mistake about why we are here. This is an extermination. God be with you. We warned you at Syracuse, and you persisted.
Outman. Kunaman mad. He killed all Whitelegs. You talk. You stop. Him hear you. You talk.
Don't listen to this thing. His cries are those of a mad beast caught in a thicket. He gave no mercy to my family, and I will give none to his. He has a debt to pay for what he's done, and I've come to collect. And so he's chosen to cower in the water like a dumb animal. I love you. I want to take from them what they took from me, from my family. In this life, I want them to suffer. I want all of them to die in fear and pain. I want to have my revenge against him, against Caesar. I want to call it my own, to make my anger God's anger, to justify the things I've done. Sometimes I tell myself that these wildfires never stop burning. But I'm the one who starts them. Not God. Not them. Go. Get out of here. Go back. Back to the Great Salt Lake. That's it. It's finished. Thank you for staying with me. I couldn't have done this on my own. Let's go find Daniel. Tomorrow we'll be here soon. And there is much to do.
And so it was that the conflict between the New Canaanites and the Whitelegs was finally resolved. The courier's involvement had tipped the scale, shifting the fragile balance of power.
Demoralized by the Dead Horse and Sorrow's attack the courier and Joshua Graham led against them, the Whitelegs retreated to Great Salt Lake. Their days were numbered. Word soon reached the 80s tribe that the Whitelegs' spirit was broken. Their war chief a dim shadow of his former self. By year's end, the 80s would overrun the Whitelegs' camps, scattering the tribe to the winds and claiming the Great Salt Lake for its own.
The Sorrows fought beside Joshua Graham and the Dead Horses, eradicating the threat the Whitelegs posed to Zion. Seeing the courier convince Joshua Graham to spare Salt Upon Wounds, the Sorrows learned that retribution could be tempered by mercy. Though he despaired at the Sorrows' loss of innocence, Daniel took some small consolation in the courier's lesson, and prayed it would take root.
Having helped eradicate the Whitelegs from Zion, the Dead Horses returned to Dead Horse Point in triumph. They remained neutral toward the Sorrows, but as years went on, there were periods of competitive friction, even violence between the tribes. The New Canaanites, Daniel especially, intervened regularly as mediators, but found it difficult to reconcile the tribe's conflicts.
The defeat of the Whitelegs and Zion marked a turning point in the fortunes of the Happy Trails Caravan Company. Every 2 months, the caravan met with the New Canaanites in Zion Valley to trade. Happy Trails soon returned to prosperity. The vigilance of the Sorrows and Dead Horses in defending southwestern Utah, initially startling to Happy Trails caravans, soon proved a blessing. The tribes united against the 80s, driving them back from Highway 50, and thus opening yet another trading route for Happy Trails caravans.
The threat of the Whitelegs ended. Joshua Graham helped the Sorrows and Dead Horses tend to their fallen comrades and secure Zion. The courier's words had stayed Joshua's wrath in his darkest hour, and in sparing Salt Upon Wounds, he was changed. While he continued to advocate militant opposition to the enemies of New Canaan, he sometimes showed quarter to those who crossed his family. Eventually, this new spirit would diminish the myth of the burned man in distant lands. A small price for the peace it brought to Joshua Graham.
For years after the defeat of the Whitelegs, Daniel did his best to minister to the Sorrows' spiritual needs. Try as he might, he could not hold back the tribe's increasing militancy and reverence of Joshua Graham. Demoralized, he returned to his family and Dead Horse Point. His failures haunted him for the rest of his days.
And with that, the courier walked out of the history of the tribes of Zion and back to the gathering storm of the Mojave Wasteland.
No offense, but you look like you've traveled a long way down some bad roads. Where'd you come from? Huh. Well, in that case, I take it back. You look pretty good, given the circumstances. Well, welcome then. I'm Veronica. I live in a hole in the ground. Well, a bunker, if you want to get technical. I think it sounds more interesting my way. But I'm not there much anymore. I'm usually out here picking up food and supplies for my family, whatever they need. Yeah, I'm not worried. They can handle themselves. But somebody has to get the groceries, know what I mean? And actually these days, I think they'd rather have me out here anyway. But that's a whole other story. So listen, can I ask you something on the level? I had a run-in with this group calling themselves the Brotherhood of Steel. Pretty strange bunch. Do you know anything about them? Wow. I've got to admit, you have completely defied my first impression of you. Eye lasers. I'll be sure and look out for that next time. Any other juicy bits of intel? Do they? Oh, that's a relief. I wasn't so sure myself. Protecting people from technology seems like a big job for such a small group. Hey, so where are you headed anyway? I'll be honest. You're the first person I've run across out here that looks like he can really handle himself. There are places I've never been to that'd be too dangerous for just me. What do you think? Maybe we could travel together, help each other out. Good. That's the look I was going for. Trust me on this one, though. You'll be glad you brought me along. If I turn out to be a burden, we can part ways at any time. No hard feelings. Oh, nowhere in particular, really. Just hoping to see more of the world. Looking for a fresh perspective. I want to see how different groups have adapted to survive in the Mojave. See if there's something I can learn from. Like I said, they can handle themselves. And I'm not the only one getting supplies for them. It's a big family. Now you're talking. One thing you should know first, though. I ask you about the Brotherhood because I'm one of them. I know, but I had to know how you react when I told you. We have made a lot of enemies. You still okay bringing me along? I'm great at punching people. I'm not gonna lie. It's a gift. Well, thanks for taking a chance on a naive young girl from California with stars in her eyes and a pneumatic gauntlet on her hand. Let's hit the road, huh? Wow, Mr. House is looking for you, huh? What do you think he wants? Bowling partner? I like long walks in the desert and candlelit metal workshops. I like punching things, but sometimes shooting things just has to do. Yeah, I've been taking things apart and putting them back together since before I said my first word. You want to build something? Talk to me, and we can do it right there on the spot. Workbenches are for novices. Who knows? I might even be able to show you a Brotherhood trick or two. My favorite subject. I want a dress. Yeah, a good one. Something elegant and classy, you know? But still stylish. Something that's eye-catching and sexy, but also says, don't fuck with me. I keep hoping I'll come across some old-world designer gown when I'm scavenging, but it never happens. Maybe I should move back to California. Hey, you try getting a date wearing scribe robes. Might as well be wearing sweatpants. I just like them, you know? They make you feel like a woman. Those ladies before the war, they knew what they were doing. Can I make it up? I would say he was my tutor, but that doesn't cover it. After my parents passed, he looked after me. The whole Brotherhood brought me up, really, but he made sure of it. I never had a grandfather, not that I knew, anyway. But Elijah was in some ways what I'd imagine a grandfather to be. It was by his request, actually. He cleared it with the other elders. Somehow. They sent him to look into the dam. There was a time when I'd have begged to follow. Watch him at work. He did. For years, he fought with the council. Taught me to question our direction. Meanwhile, he'd become more out of touch than all of them. On our way east, he demanded we stop at Helios 1 to examine it. While we were there, we received word that the NCR had taken the dam. He was furious. Called it children playing with a bomb, but he was mad because we'd lost its power. what we'd use it for. He didn't even care. They're cautious. When they discover something, they respect it, learn its limits, consider how to preserve it. Used to drive Father Elijah crazy. He liked to learn limits too, but only so he could push them. That's not to excuse the other elders, though. They all covet technology for its own sake. Some are just more fanatical than others. Yeah, I did. I couldn't help him. He just didn't listen, and the idea that people talk back to him... If he could have made the Brotherhood act like machines, ordering them around with the push of a button, he would have. Elijah could look at an old device and immediately understand what made it work. And he could see its potential, where it fit with other technology. It's not something he could teach, but he tried with me. Some of it stuck. But that's what he taught me. You ask what I learned from him. I learned what I don't want to become. In the end, there was just him and his vision. Nothing and no one else. Yeah, I miss him. Like what? Just my parents, but they haven't been around for a long time. Dad was a paladin, Mom was a scribe. They died in the same battle, trying to hold off the NCR from... something. I don't remember what it was. Guess it seemed important at the time. Ever been nosy? I was, once. We were pretty young, but I like to think it was love. She left the Brotherhood. Wanted to put some distance between herself and her parents. Since our membership isn't open to outsiders, some members think that obligates all of us to procreate. You can guess which camp her parents belong to. No. Couldn't bring myself to leave everyone else behind. Couldn't convince her to stay, either. I'd hoped love would be enough to influence her decision, but it wasn't. We were both too stubborn. I don't know where she is now, but I'm sure she's moved on. I still think about her, though. Once in a while. If you take trying to keep me as far away from Hidden Valley as possible because I ask too many difficult questions as a sign of respect, oh yeah. That's not to say I don't get along with them. I just think they don't know what to do with me sometimes. Nowhere specific. I just know there are a lot of groups who are actually doing well for themselves out here. I want to understand how and why. See them at work. Ooh, got any juicy gossip? See you around.
Hi. If you're looking for medical help, try the other doctors. I'm just a researcher. Not even a particularly good one. Oh, you know, finding alternative treatments for common illnesses and injuries, stim packs out of barrel cacti, and other fantastic improbability. As far as fruitless wastes of time go, it's quite noble in its aims. For the past 100 years or so, the followers have managed to get by using salvaged medical supplies from the old world. But the side effect of medical success is that more people live longer. Funny how that works. Eventually, we'll run out of hospitals to loot. We need new ways to produce those supplies, or maybe old ways if this research goes anywhere. I'm enthusiastic about helping people, but nihil novi sub sole. Caesar can cite Cato to suit his purpose. Many people have spoken Latin, some of them were quite pleasant. It's unfortunate that the language is now associated with the gentleman across the river. Not from the Legion, if that's what you're getting at. Books, sheet music, gladiator movie holotapes, bits and pieces here and there. The followers have extensive libraries, but we all draw water from the same old well. Even Caesar. I don't know anything that the others couldn't tell you. Caesar was one of the followers. Before my time, of course. He wanted to rebuild the new world in the image of the old. A sad story of good intentions gone bad. In that regard, he's hardly unique. If you set aside his leadership capabilities, extensive knowledge, and ruthless cunning, he's just another jerk who steps on people to get his way. Oh, sorry. There's nothing new under the sun. If agave and mesquite were that miraculous, the locals would have figured it out a few thousand years ago. Certainly. Not all followers are people persons. Besides, someone needs to do research. I have no problem with Julie sticking me back here. Out of sight, out of mind. There are worse things one can be, though I do admit it is a bit boring. Though it has a noble goal, I don't think this research will yield much fruit. No pun intended. Certainly. Like I said before, not all followers are good with people. I'm fine doing research back here, even if it is a bit boring. And pointless. And a complete waste of time. Don't mind me. I'm just voicing my thoughts so they don't burrow out of my skull in a fit of abject despondency. Me specifically? No. I'm sure Julie Farkas does, though. Lab coat, pointy hair. Answers to the name Julie Farkas, strangely enough. I'm sure she can find something for you to do. It might be kind of depressing and terrible, though. Caveat Samaritanus. No offense intended, but why should I go anywhere with you? Overt flirtation will get you everywhere, you know. On a slightly more serious note, if you're interested in helping out with the troubles plaguing Freeside, I can come with you. Just don't do anything obnoxious, like trying to help Caesar's Legion, and we should be fine. Understood? Alright, let's not waste any time. There are people out there to help, things to learn. Maybe not in that order, but let's get to it. It could be better. If we can find a way to work toward the independence of New Vegas, that would be ideal. But really, as long as you don't help out the Legion, anything's better than that. I'm really very boring. You get better stories out of a Freeside junkie. Oh, alright. I'm 30-ish. Well, late 30s. I was born west of here. I was an only child and spent most of my time with my mother. My father died when I was young and I never got over it. Oh, and I like medicine and reading books about failed pre-war socioeconomic policies. Right now, I'm sure you're asking yourself, why hasn't some lucky man scooped this bachelor off his feet? Like I said, I'm boring. Some people do. I just don't. Look, I appreciate that you're trying to be friendly, but I'd just rather not discuss it. No, really. Have you ever snorted the ground-up Cazador venom sac? Neither have I, but I can guarantee you that a Freeside junkie has. Only to obfuscate my past association with a fascist paramilitary organization. I'm joking, of course. I will deflect personal questions at any opportunity. Honestly, it isn't too difficult if you have half a brain and aren't a complete jerk. I wanted to help people and I enjoyed learning, so I signed up. New Vegas is in trouble, so I came out here. If someone doesn't step up and try to help the people here, it's going to end very badly. The followers taught me everything I know about medicine. Despite our humble abode here in New Vegas, we have great facilities back in the NCR. We may have overextended ourselves by setting up camp in Freeside, but the people here need help from someone. If not us, who? Alright. See you around. So, Mr. House doesn't care that one of Caesar's most notorious Legion spies is walking around on the Strip. Either that or his Securitron's AI is too primitive to recognize the threat. Neither answer is particularly comforting.
Halt! What business have you in Cottonwood Cove, outsider? You wear the mark of Caesar. You must be who Cursor Lucullus is waiting for. You may continue, but be warned. Mark or no, we will not tolerate aggressive action by visitors in the camp.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver? The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat.
Wait a second. What's going on? Am I playing Virgil to your Dante? I'd like to assume that we're tiptoeing into the mouth of hell out of academic curiosity, but I'm not so open-minded that I'd lost my brain. Well, at least the mess is ours to clean up. Wait a minute. Am I going crazy, or are you actually suggesting it might not be bad if the Legion takes over? It's a good thing to be, but you may want to close the floodgates once you see how Caesar runs things.
So I finally get to meet the courier who's accomplished so much in so little time. That's why I summoned you here, right? I mean, a man nearly kills you, and your response is to track him across the breadth of the Mojave? You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat? You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it? When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started? I like the servile attitude. Keep it up. The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching. Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch, and inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 Casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried. I want you to destroy whatever you find in there, and then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Goodbye.
The new slip.
What a load of Brahmin shit. Can you believe that guy? Of course, Caesar! You can hardly even hold his men responsible, given how they're practically raised to worship him as a living deity. What's the point of surviving the war? Why did the founders of the followers crawl their way out of vaults to bring knowledge back to the wasteland? So we could act like the last 2,000 years didn't happen? Play dress-up so we can fight ancient wars all over again? No way is he getting away with this. I'm not letting it happen. You're not letting it happen.
Hail the People's Republic!